Compound gear trains have 2 or more pairs of gears in mesh so that they rotate together. This compound gear train has gears on 3 shafts. The gear on the input shaft meshes with a larger gear on a countershaft or cluster gear. The countershaft has a smaller gear formed on it, in mesh with the output shaft gear. The motion of the input is transferred through the large gear, along the countershaft to the smaller gear, to the output. The output turns in the same direction as the input, but at a reduced ratio, depending on the relative sizes of the gears. Since 2 pairs of gears are involved, their ratios are compounded or multiplied together. The input gear with 12 teeth drives its mating gear on the countershaft, which has 24 teeth. This is a ratio of 2 to 1. This ratio of driven over driver at the input, 2 to 1, is then multiplied by the output ratio, which has a driven to driver ratio of 3 to 1. This gives a gear ratio of 6 to 1 between the input and the output, resulting in a speed reduction and a corresponding increase in torque. Gear reductions in the lower gears of manual transmissions can be provided by compound gear trains. Typical ratios are first gear 4.41 to 1, second gear 2.63 to 1, and third gear 1.61 to 1. Fourth gear is normally a ratio of 1 to 1. The input and output shafts turn at the same speed. There is no torque multiplication. A fifth gear is normally an overdrive ratio, typically with a value of 0.87 to 1. Then the output shaft turns faster than the input, but the output torque is reduced. A further reduction is always provided by the final drive gears. Their ratio is included when calculating overall gear reduction. The overall gear ratio is the gearbox ratio multiplied by the final drive ratio. A gearbox ratio of 3 to 1 with a final drive ratio of 4 to 1 gives an overall ratio of 12 to 1. 12 revolutions of the crankshaft result in 1 turn of the driving road wheels. Assuming 100% efficiency, the torque applied is 12 times the engine torque, although this is divided equally between the driving wheels.